The universe was burning. It had started with whispers, stars vanishing in distant sectors, colonies going silent, fleets disappearing without distress calls. At first, the Galactic Union blamed pirates, spatial anomalies, even internal rebellions. Then the truth arrived in a single, shredded escape pod drifting near the Union border. The creature inside was half melted, half screaming, and entirely broken. Before dying, it managed to utter one phrase, recorded forever in the archives. The Devourer has awakened. Within weeks, entire regions of the galaxy were consumed. Planets were stripped of life in seconds. Space-time itself twisted and warped into impossible geometry after the creature passed. Civilizations that had stood for 10,000 years died in hours. Nothing stopped it. Nothing slowed it. Nothing understood it. And with every world taken, the Devourer only grew. Beginning, the final plea. The Council of Remaining Worlds sat in a ruined citadel orbiting a dying star. Once, their meetings were diplomatic spectacles with thousands of delegates. Now only 12 species remained, 12 trembling survivors clinging to the last stable territory. And soon, even they would fall. "Is there no hope?" whispered Chancellor Vesh of the Frel, her thin antennae drooping. "Our fleets are gone. Our weapons fail. Our sciences are exhausted." "Hope," barked War Regent Tarok of the CERN. "Hope was devoured 2 cycles ago. The Devourer cannot be fought. It cannot be reasoned with. We are all that is left." Silence cloaked the chamber. Then Elder Scholar Nali of the Alari cleared her throat. "There is one option." All eyes turned. "An option we swore never to consider," she continued. Regent Tarok stiffened. "You mean them?" "Absolutely not." The Chancellor leaned forward. "We must discuss it." "Speak, Elder." Nali sighed. "In our ancient records there is mention of a species, unconventional, unpredictable, and powerful beyond logic. They were once part of the Union, but voluntarily isolated themselves. They severed diplomatic channels, disappeared from galactic communication, and built walls around their star systems no one could breach." She hesitated. "They call themselves humans." Tarok slammed a fist on the table. "Humans? Those savages? Those reckless, stubborn creatures? They abandoned the Union millennia ago. Because they said the galaxy wasn't ready for what they were becoming," Nali whispered. "And they were right." A hush fell. Everyone knew the legends. Humans with technology that defied physics, ships that blinked through realities, weapons that bent space-time. But no one had seen a human vessel in thousands of years. "They could destroy us," Tarok warned. "They could save us," Nali countered. The Chancellor breathed in deeply. "We send a plea." The room stirred with fear, hope, doubt. "This may doom us," Tarok growled. "It may be the only way to survive," the Chancellor answered. And so, with the last of their power, the Council crafted the most desperate transmission in galactic history. "Humans of Sol, help us. We beg you." They sent it into the void. And waited. And waited. Nothing. No response. The galaxy continued to die around them. The Council prepared for extinction. Middle, the human response. It came without warning. 7 days after the plea, the dying star around the citadel flickered, once, twice, before stabilizing. No star should behave like that. No natural force could calm a celestial object mid-collapse. Then a wave of static flooded every screen in the citadel. The delegates panicked. "Is it the Devourer? Has it found us? Prepare the failsafe." But the static didn't form the Devourer's fractal signature. Instead, it organized into simple humanoid shape. A voice followed, calm, clear, unmistakably human. "This is the Terran Response Authority. We have received your message." Gasps filled the chamber. A human. After millennia. Then the voice continued. "Prepare for arrival." Regent Tarok barked. "Arrival? You cannot just appear." He never finished the sentence. Because in the space outside the citadel, a tear opened. Not a warp point. Not a jump gate. A true rift, reality peeling apart like fabric. And from it emerged a single ship. Small. Unassuming. Silent. Yet powerful enough to distort the gravity wells of nearby moons. The council stared, speechless. The ship broadcast a final message. "Permission to enter your citadel." They granted it instantly. The ship shimmered and dissolved into light, then rematerialized inside the chamber. Humans could teleport ships now. The delegates were too stunned to move. The craft opened. A lone human stepped out. Tall, calm, composed, wearing a black suit with no insignia. Their eyes glowed faintly. Modifications? Implants? Evolution? No one knew. The human bowed slightly. "I am Envoy Myra Sol of Terra." Chancellor Vesh struggled to speak. You heard our plea." "We did," Myra replied. "Though I must clarify, we did not respond immediately because your message reached us in distorted temporal layers." "What does that mean?" Regent Tarok asked cautiously. Myra smiled faintly. "It means your plea arrived before you sent it." The council sat in stunned silence. Humans were beyond comprehension. Myra stepped forward. "We know of the Devourer. We have studied its nature for millennia." Tarok snarled. "If you knew, why didn't you warn us? Why didn't you fight it earlier?" Myra turned to him, expression unchanging. "Because you would not have believed us." She didn't say it cruelly, just factually. The Chancellor asked quietly, Can humanity stop it?" Myra glanced at the floor, as if weighing words carefully. "No." Every heart dropped. "But," she continued softly, "we can redirect it." Hope flickered. "How?" Elder Nali whispered. Myra raised a hand, and suddenly the chamber filled with projections, swirling dimensional rifts, folded realities, layers of space-time stretching infinitely. "The Devourer is not a creature," Myra said. "It is a migrating phenomenon, a cosmic storm from a higher dimension. It consumes because that is its nature, like a wildfire." "Can you extinguish it?" Tarok pressed. "No, but we can guide its path." The projection shifted, showing a map of the galaxy. Using Terran gravitational anchors and phase lens technology, we can bend its trajectory, send it away from inhabited regions, back into the outer void from which it came. Silence. Then the Chancellor whispered, "You would do this for us." Myra blinked slowly. "Not for you. For everyone." Middle, Part 2. The Human Intervention. What happened next became legend. Human ships arrived, not hundreds, not thousands, but three. 3 vessels. Small, unadorned, almost delicate-looking. And yet each one carried enough power to stabilize collapsing stars, manipulate quantum tides, and shift dark matter flows. The Council watched in awe as the Terran vessels ignited with radiant energy, weaving a lattice of shimmering fields across the dying sectors, redirecting the Devourer as if painting on the canvas of space itself. The Devourer struck the lattice. Reality screamed. The fabric of space bent, twisted. Then, slowly, impossibly, it began to turn. The monstrous storm of devouring energy drifted sideways, drawn into a corridor humans had carved from existence itself. Away from the Union. Away from all known life. Into the empty dark. When it was done, the Terran vessels dimmed. The lattice dissolved. And the devourer was gone. Not destroyed. Not beaten. But diverted. Saved from and saved by humanity. Ending. The truth behind the human response. Envoy Myra returned to the council's chamber. Delegates fell to their knees. "You saved us," whispered Chancellor Vesh. "You saved the galaxy." Myra shook her head. "No. You misunderstand." Everyone froze. Myra continued. "The devourer will return one day. Perhaps in millions of years. Perhaps tomorrow. Perhaps in another universe first." Her voice softened. "But every time it does, humanity will be there. Because we have seen too many futures to allow this galaxy to die." The delegates trembled. Then Elder Nali asked the question none dared voice. "Why? Why help us? Why respond at all?" Myra smiled gently. "Because you asked." She bowed. "And humans always respond to a call for help." The chamber fell utterly silent. No one knew what to say. Then Myra made her final statement. "We will withdraw again. Not out of secrecy. Out of necessity. The galaxy must grow without us. But," she nodded respectfully, "know this. You are not alone. Not now. Not ever." The human ship dissolved into light. The council watched it vanish into a calm, stabilized starfield, saved because of a single desperate plea. And a human who answered it.